Hello, this is Jack from Fluency.com. Welcome to this English lesson where I'm going to tell you a little bit about where I've been, where I've not been on YouTube for a little while, and also answer your questions about learning English. Now, do know there might be some background noise. Someone was just using a chainsaw, zzz, very loud. And then also there's been some fire engine as well in the background too. So bear with me, which means be patient about all of this. But if you're just joining, welcome. My name is Jack from Fluency.com. After this lesson, feel free to go back to my other lessons on the channel. There are many, including podcast episodes, how to learn English, conversations, and those are the types of videos that we're going to be producing in the future. Okay, so welcome. I'm just at this co-working space where I work. There's a playground out here in case I ever need a little break to go play for a while. And there's some nice trails as well. But I've come outside. The title of this video is It's a Beautiful Day to Learn English. Now, it is spring at the moment, the end of April, and it's the perfect temperature. So I like to get out as much as I can. Now I'm just going to go to the comment section. It's hard to do on my phone, but I will do my best. Got people from Ukraine, Peru, Mexico, Spain, Argentina. So just say hello in the chat if you are joining. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Now, someone asked, where were you for so long? So I've taken 2 or 3 months of creating content. There's a chainsaw. Now, creating content means making videos, making podcasts. And I've done this because I've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes with the business, with Fluency. So I took some time off creating content. So then I could get lots of lesson plans and move in a different direction. And my plan is from June to be live on Patreon. And the idea behind this is that I'm going to release podcast episodes every week. I'm going to get ahead with my content, which means I'm going to produce a lot of content for the weeks to come. And then on Patreon, you're going to have access. I'm going to change hands here because my arm's aching. You're going to have access to different materials that will help you learn English. For example, podcast transcripts. We're going to have exercises, vocabulary lists, extra content, bonus podcast episodes or extended podcast episodes, audio phrases, and some Q&A videos too. So that is the plan for basically coming in June on Patreon. And I'm really excited about this because it's going to be affordable for most people. There are different membership levels, and I think it's going to be a really good addition to what I offer on YouTube and on my podcast. So that is the idea behind that. And you're going to get materials every week. So it means that every week you can study from using my podcasts, but then the extra materials, and it won't be too overwhelming. And I'll explain exactly how you can do that. So expect that coming end of May or June. So just in the comment section, we've got people from Thailand, Granada, Spain. I've always wanted to go to Granada in Spain. I never made it down there because I lived in Spain for 2 years, and Granada was one of those places I really wanted to go, but I never made it, unfortunately. So just a little word on spring. At the moment, it is springtime here in the US. It's time to mow the lawn nearly every week. So you have to mow the lawn every week at the moment because it's the perfect temperature for grass to grow. And normally in spring you get a lot of rain. So in the next week or so we're going to have sunny days, sunny mornings, but then rainy afternoons. So it's going to be sunny in the morning and then rainy in the afternoon. And that's the perfect temperature and the perfect weather conditions for grass to grow. I'm just going to sit down over here so I'm not disturbing anyone. Okay, so that's the perfect temperature for grass to grow. And also at the moment, there are lots of festivals. People love celebrating spring. So we have lots of festivals going on, lots of events where people celebrate things. It's great, it's a good time. And the way people talk about this is a spring fling. So that's what we're doing at the moment. Lots of festivals and events. Oh, I'm trying to get to this. Don't know why it's zooming in. How do I get to the comments on this? There we go. Got people from Russia, Thailand, Grenada, Spain too. Wow. Morocco, India, Brazil, living in the UK, from Asia, Murcia, Bangladesh, India. Great, all these different places. Okay, so now's a good time to ask any questions you have about learning English. I've got some podcast episodes coming up. The next one is probably going to be next week here on YouTube and also on podcast players. So I think the next one is going to be about fish and chips. We're going to talk about fish and chips, and this is an interesting topic because they have a really good history in the UK about fish and chips. And I'm going to talk about the price of fish and chips when I was younger, the price of fish and chips now, inflation, the history of fish and chips, and you can also learn some words and phrases related to this too. I recently joined your To Fluency program. Great to have you, Eden. Yeah, great to have you. To fluency.com/TFP. What's the meaning of fella? So yeah, this is one of those slang terms for a use of friend. And it could also just mean like there's a fella over there, there's a person, a man over there, there's a fella over there. But it's one of these slang terms that we use. You can say, what's up fella, for example, or how's it going fella? But it's not as common as friend or mate, especially in the UK. It's good to see you again. Where have you been? Yeah, so I was saying I've taken a break from creating content so I could plan the next 2 years really to Fluency and creating content on the podcast, on the YouTube channel, and soon to be on Patreon too. So it was good to take a break, but I've been very busy, very, very busy creating resources and getting things together. Got people from Uzbekistan and Bogota, Colombia, Japan, Peru. I'm not used to the British accent, hard for me to understand. My boyfriend. Yeah, so your boyfriend must be from the UK. You get used to it. It's one of those things that, by the way, I'm squinting because it's really bright out here. I need some sunglasses. But yeah, you get used to it. When it comes to accents, you do get used to it. But there are a few things you need to think about. It's not just the way people speak, but it's the words and phrases that they use. So people will use different words and phrases in the UK. And if you're familiar with American English, then it is going to be more difficult to understand. So you need to get used to the words and phrases people use and also the way people speak. There's lots of differences. For example, when it comes to things like computer, the British use the schwa at the end without the little R sound. And if you just take that word computer, I say computer. Americans say computer. So there's the D sound instead of the T, computer. And also there's a little R at the end of the schwa sound, computer. So that's quite a big difference there. Is it true the original fish and chips used to be deep fried in tallow? I think so. And tallow is beef fat. Now, I actually just yesterday did a search for restaurants that use beef tallow instead of the modern cooking oils. And I did a search on this because I'm also going to do a podcast on different types of diets and food and drink. So I prefer beef tallow personally. So I did some research on that yesterday on beef tallow. Which do you think is better to learn, American or UK? It's up to you. I always say learn a bit of both as well, because these days you're going to hear both due to international media. And so you're going to hear both of those accents being used and both of those forms of English being used, British and American English. So learn both. But if you're going to move to the US, then focus more on American. What is your British accent? It's a little bit neutral now, but it's from Northern England, near Manchester. Can you hear the chainsaw? I was hoping that person had stopped. Now, one thing about creating content is you always need a quiet place in order to record audio. It's hard to find it. It's so hard to find a quiet place, because usually in everyone's neighbourhood, especially in spring, people are outside chopping wood, mowing the lawn, blowing leaves, doing housework, all those types of things. Does read out loud help with speaking fluently? Yeah, I think it does help. I've got a couple of methods with this. One is what I call the Fluency method, or people call it different methods, but it's where you listen to an audio phrase, repeat it, but then you record your version so then you can listen to how you say it as well. And that's important, so then you know if you're saying it correctly or not. And then you can also shadow, where you repeat audio or books or anything else. You can read out loud as well. But I think it's important to get it accurate and then get fluency. So accuracy first, then fluency when it comes to audio, phrases and speaking and repeating. Are you going to tackle some topics about politics in your future videos? A little bit. When it comes to politics, YouTube doesn't like, well, it's getting a little bit stricter when it comes to the policy with politics. So what I can do is talk about the vocabulary and discuss topics and news events, but I don't talk about my opinion with politics a lot. I don't normally anyway. Let's see if I'm going to go back up. People are talking about to improve writing. I'll answer this question first. If you go to a restaurant in the US and order fish and chips, would you say fish and fries? Or risk ending up with crisps on your plate? No, they do call it fish and chips here too. It's not as common. Usually you get it in a restaurant and it's more, the fish portions are smaller. You normally get 2 or 3 fish portions, but small ones. And it's not like it is in the UK. In most cases. It's not, people say it's not as good. It's different. It is different. Now, in terms of improving writing, I like the idea of taking model writing answers, so examples, and just copying them, not on a test, but just for you to absorb and internalize that type of English, where you can just copy and write down what they say. Doing that just helps you memorize things, but also just be become familiar with the different patterns in writing too. So that's a good thing to do. Greetings from Peru. Hello teacher, hello everyone. So if you're just joining, yep, I took a little time off creating videos and podcasts. Coming in May, there are going to be more videos and podcasts. And then in June, we're going to start... Oh, there's a wasp. I get scared of wasps because I'm a little bit allergic to them. I'm allergic to wasp stings and bee stings. Right, it's gone. Lolly is here. Good to see you. Always good to see you. People from Poland. So starting in June, we're also going to have Patreon as well. I've been working with Patreon to get it all started, and I'm excited about how I can offer you resources. And it's things like you'll be able to get early access to the episodes. There won't be any ads on the episodes. You can use the Patreon app to listen to them. You can get transcripts, exercises, vocabulary lists, audio phrases, depending on the type of membership you get. So that's going to come in June. It's not ready yet. I'm still working on creating everything for it, but it's going to come in June. Got people from Japan, Iran, Azerbaijan, Spain, Russia, Iran. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. So yeah, I just wanted to check in and let you know that that's what's going to come up soon. Like I say, just like this video if you are happy that I am back. And then also, after this video, just go to my channel and listen to one of my podcast episodes or watch one of the videos there. So it's great to see everyone again, and I'll speak to you all soon. Okay, bye-bye for now.